Hello physical fiends, it is Jordan here with some just announced physical releases. These are games that have recently been announced for a physical. They are not releasing this week, okay? And as always, I do not do limited pre-order game stuff since they are always covered in Monday's video and there's no point repeating myself. So let's take a look at what's recently been announced. Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader Voidfarer Edition, a long-winded title, but it's coming physically to PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2 on a proper cartridge. This is a classic style PC RPG set in the well-loved Warhammer universe. This couldn't be any further from my expertise, but it looks absolutely fantastic. If you miss old school like Baldur's Gate or whatever, then this will be right up your alley for sure. It's releasing on October the 15th, and I am rather looking forward to it. Maybe even a little scared that it might destroy all my free time. Hoa 2 has been announced to be getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox sometime this year, and yes, the Switch 2 version is a proper cartridge. Why? Because it's published by PM Studios, who are treating the Switch 2 and its audience with the utmost respect. This is a sequel to a lovely game, perhaps considered more style over substance, but I mean, what style? One of the best looking indie games I've seen, and the sequel is even better looking. I mean, look at the box art. That really is. It's art, truly. It's like falling into a Studio Ghibli piece. Expect another lovely puzzle platformer. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Wow, this was huge news. Mind-bending news. Oblivion Remastered is coming physically on a proper cartridge to Nintendo Switch 2, which means that compared to Xbox and PlayStation, this Switch 2 physical is better than those physicals, which were mostly downloads. This is on the cartridge. The game is like 61 gigabytes on the eShop, so it should all be there aside from some download codes for armor sets and horse sets, but who cares about horse armor? This is a massive release for Nintendo Switch 2, August 11th for this bad boy, and I will be there day one. And by the way, if you want to pre-order it or anything else included in this video, then please consider using the links I've put down below in the description and pinned comment. I've linked to a few stores where applicable, and any purchase made via a link helps support me and this channel in the best way possible, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Master Lemon Quest for Iceland is a really rubbish name, especially if you're from the UK and you associate Iceland with the discount supermarket. I mean, when I was a hungover student, we always had a quest for Iceland to get the curry-flavored 10-pence ramen. It really soothed the stomach and head, and wallet, of course. And after writing that section, I now feel extremely bad because this game was made as a tribute to the developer's friend who passed away. It is a positively received, heartwarming adventure game releasing on PlayStation 5 physically sometime this year. Horse Club Ride West, another horse riding game making its way to Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 of course, and it's releasing on October the 9th. Explore the Wild West in the only truly acceptable and manly way possible, via horseback, testing your riding skills and customizing your character for that maximum shovelware feeling. Tristia Chronicles has finally been unveiled for its North American physical release. This was announced like over a year ago or something like that, but now it finally has artwork and a release date, September 17th, and you can pre-order it right now. This was an import exclusive for many, many years. It is a double pack of strange games. I rarely know how to describe them, but they're kind of like city builders with mini-game stuff going on, crafting. They have a VN-style storytelling and very rewarding CGs. Something for the gentleman out there. I like the box art too, something very quirky, and I would probably like to pick this up. Undergrounded. This is a hotly released title, just came out on PC a couple of days ago, but the physical console release on Nintendo Switch is coming later this year, and it is a nice looking puzzle adventure game as a man travels through weird landscapes looking for a lost ring. Looks pretty decent, no reviews for it though as I'm making this video. Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2 is back, now in its Dark Arisen form, which includes new enemies, new skills, new dungeons, a home base, visual upgrades. Seems pretty significant. Now, if you already own the base game, I'm pretty sure you can purchase the Dark Arisen content as DLC, but if you're jumping on board this well-regarded RPG for the first time, you'll probably want to pick this one up when it releases physically on Xbox and PlayStation 5 October the 9th. Grime 2 Definitive Edition, I had no idea there was a Grime 2, never mind a definitive edition of it. But it is real, and it's coming physically on Xbox and PlayStation 5 on September the 15th. Just like the original, this is an acclaimed action Metroidvania. Here you absorb the enemies and then use their special attacks in your favor. That's always a nice mechanic in games, in my opinion. It's more of the same, but a bit better to some and slightly not better to others. Unbeatable has been announced for a proper physical release on Nintendo Switch 2. Details are a little thin right now since they are focusing on the digital console release, which is later this month, but the physical will come later this year via I Am 8-Bit. This is a rhythm adventure game that has you destroying the stage both metaphorically and literally. Good reviews on Steam. Blasphemous Martyr's Edition. I made a video about this purely because it was so hyped. I didn't even pick up on it at first. It was only after it was pointed out to me just how ludicrously expensive to pick up the previous editions of this game were that I realized, wow, pretty big deal, I should make a video about it. It might be the 4th time this has got a physical on the Switch, and it might be kind of a forced collector's edition, but still less than half the price of what it would cost to get a used copy on eBay. In North America, on Switch, in Europe, they're also getting a PlayStation 4 copy. This new edition is releasing October the 30th. Avatar Legends, the fighting game, is getting a physical release on multiple consoles: Switch, Switch 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. And yes, Switch 2 is a proper cartridge. As the name suggests, it is a fighting game within the very popular and critically acclaimed animated show. A 1v1 fighter, so expect fast-paced combat as you choose between 12 playable characters who will be familiar to fans of the show. The animation is looking really sweet, and I think so far previews have been quite positive. 28th of August for this one. Let's give Evercade a bit of love, because who knows, they might be the last game console to have physical games at the end of the day. They've got 2 pre-orders that have gone up recently: Visco Arcade 1 and 2. Releasing on August the 28th, here you get a bunch of arcade games on each cartridge, some of which are Neo Geo games that are missing from those Neo Geo Switch compilations. That's because they're owned by Visco and not SNK. Nice stuff. They usually put together some fun arcade goodness back in the day. I mean, one of them has Neo Drift Out, which is one of my favorite Neo Geo games. Alright, with the seeming death of physical media on new consoles, maybe I should start talking about retro stuff, because a couple of weeks back, I Am 8-Bit announced they are doing Genesis cartridges of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, officially licensed by Sega. Now, they are asking $100 a pop, which is absolutely insane for such a common cartridge. I mean, they're more expensive than the new Neo Geo stuff that's coming out. And don't worry, I will cover that when the time comes. But if you want something to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the franchise with an official colorful cartridge, then it's up to you and your wallet. It's also a bit of a lottery since 1 in 8 cartridges will be a bit more special and glow when being played. Alright, some sad news, because it's not a new game announcement, it's a new game cancellation. You may remember that Clear River Games were supposed to be bringing Back to the Dawn physically on Nintendo Switch 2 to Europe on a proper cartridge, unlike the Japanese and Asian releases which were game keys. But that is not happening now. Due to unforeseen circumstances, it is cancelled. It's our first official Switch 2 cancellation that we are aware of. Alright, let's take a look at some recent import announcements. These are games that so far only have an Asian or Japanese release with English, unless otherwise stated. And since there's always time, keep in mind a Western physical could be announced at any point for any of the games, as very unlikely as it may be, but just keep it in mind. And remember, you can order most of these from VGP as well as PlayAsia, who, if you click my link and only my link first, you should be able to get 5% off with my discount code Jordan2026. But click my link, otherwise you won't be able to use it. Bunny Garden 2, well, I featured this in a video already. That's just how, culturally significant it is to the world. But yeah, the dating sim, bar management gentleman's game is back with the newest mainline game. More girls, more management, more slightly dodgy minigames to play with them. As I said in that video, Merry Bunny Garden, which is a spin-off, is the second most popular import of this year so far. So this one will probably be very popular too. The 20th of August, and it will play in English. There's a couple of special editions as well if you want some acrylic standees. Bahamut and the Waqwaq tree. Kind of weird talking about this one since it's releasing like this week. I'll talk about it more in tomorrow's video, but just quickly here, it's an exploration game with an Arabic flavor to it, plays in English, and it is an import exclusive so far. Captain Soda, this one is also releasing pretty soon, not as soon as Waqwaq tree, but still, it is a Leophil special. It's coming physically to Southeast Asia at the end of this month, July the 30th. It is an arena type combat game with platforming as you fight waves of enemies in tight spaces. Seems like a bit of old school arcade vibes to it, something like Joust, but with bullets and soda puns. It will play in English, and something tells me this is going to be a fairly obscure import exclusive in the future. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles 2, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. A quick mention to this, getting a proper physical release in Japan on Switch 2. However, it will not play in English. I thought I'd just mention it to keep morale up, with the Switch 2 getting another proper physical release and from a big publisher as well. And there we have a bunch of new announcements. What was your favorite in this episode? Let me know in the comments below, alongside your thumbs up. That really helps. If you want to pre-order any of these, then please do so with the links below, and I greatly appreciate that, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care.